If at any point in your life you've had more than $20 million in your bank account and you somehow are going broke off that, that's on you, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Learn how to say no to people, okay? What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancel Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. Athletes are going broke, guys. Very recently, I've been seeing a lot of former athletes talk about money, and there was a documentary that came out from Sebastian Telfair as well, who, if anybody doesn't necessarily know, is a former NBA basketball player who throughout his playing career made about $40 million, but is currently living in the same projects that he grew up in because he went broke. And this is a very, very intriguing story for me in particular because I used to look up to athletes because I had hoop dreams myself. And a lot of these guys to me were people that I would think were actually intelligent people. But the older you get, the more you realize that some of your role models are actually complete and utter morons. But that aside, Odell Beckham Jr. had some comments on a Pivot podcast that I want to go over very quickly. Before I get into it though, guys, if I by the end of this video earn you guys a subscription, do me a solid and like the video and subscribe to the channel, guys. It only takes a couple of seconds and it helps out more than you guys realize. That being said, let's get right into it.
You know, you talk about hard times and darkness. And when we, like, being on this side of the game, we've seen a lot of players or former players who were on that stage who were thriving in that light, right? None as big as you, as RC said. I think you've been the biggest. But even when that light starts to dim, right, in that darkness you spoke about, you know, the multiple injuries, having the game taken away from, you know, a test that you don't even know what happened. But now that's putting your return on pause. Mm-hmm. When guys are on this side and that light isn't shining, a lot of the support tend to kind of go their own ways, right? A lot of the mental stuff starts to kind of take a toll on the guys. How are you in that headspace with everything?
You know what I think? I think to a private conversation I had with a brother of mine just recently, and he's kind of getting towards that. And I think it's up to us, and I don't know what it is, and it's a side conversation, you know, aside from this, that like, it's kind of up to us to create a community because there is that leaving the game identity part that is very real, that I feel like we don't address or take as serious because you never know how it hits you until it does. And I think there's a community that we build. I don't know what it is, again, like I said, but for me, speaking just on myself, I'm like, my mind is just too strong. One, I'm also in a position where I'm kind of backed by a lot more than like what everybody else might possibly have. Like I know, like I'm gonna be straight after football, period. If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today as we speak, I'm gonna be straight for the rest of my life.
Okay, before he continues there, who are these athletes surrounding themselves with? There's a level of personal responsibility and accountability that you have to have for the people that you surround yourself with as well. When you say that you guys, it's up to you to build these communities,
that's a fact.
It's not everybody else's responsibility to make sure that your life after football or whatever professional sport you're in is successful. It's up to you. You're an adult. And listen, I get it that you guys are like specialized in a specific skill and you guys have worked your entire life to get there, okay?
However,
at the end of the day, you still have to take the accountability for yourself for the people you have around you. If you have a bunch of leeches around you who at the moment that you're not necessarily that guy anymore will just leave you, that to a certain degree is on you. Like, what were you doing allowing these people to be around you in the first place?
No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, you know, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, you know? And now
why are you spending $4 million a year? Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you trying to literally like get people to have some sympathy for you because instead of getting 100 million, you got 60 million because you got tax? Newsflash, everybody pays taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes, but everybody is forced to pay taxes. And then those taxes are used to do things that you don't necessarily support. To be on this platform trying to get the average person to look at you and feel some level of sympathy for you because instead of getting a ridiculous amount of money, you got a ridiculous amount of money and people are supposed to feel sorry for that. It's like,
shut the fuck up.
If at any point in your life you've had more than $20 million in your bank account and you somehow are going broke off that, that's on you, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Learn how to say no to people, okay? Everybody cannot be saved, okay? You said you got to buy your mom a house or whatever. Listen, I get that. You take care of your people. You take care of your immediate family. Outside of that, everybody else, I'm sorry. Like, y'all got to figure it out. If you want me to, like, invest in a business or whatever, come to me with a business proposal and show me the plan, and then we try to implement the plan. As far as just like buying stuff for people or flaunting money or whatever, you need to take the personal responsibility for yourself to know that that's a bad decision. What are you doing spending $4 million a year? You get your mom a house. Okay, cool. Let's say you got to buy mom a house. You got to buy dad a house, even though mom and dad's house should be the exact same house because they should still be together. But if they're not, okay, let's say you bought them their own separate houses, all right? What kind of house are you buying them?
Tell me!
You shouldn't be buying them a mansion because they're not going to live in 15 rooms by themselves. They don't need all that space. You should be getting them a house that you can pay off, whose upkeep is not massive. You should be getting them at most a 2 or 3 flat. That's it for about $400,000 to $500,000, and you can pay it off and not be paying whatever the hell mortgage, and they can be able to actually sustain making the repairs that they need to make or whatever, or keeping the upkeep up. You shouldn't be buying anybody a mansion for $2 to $3 million in your family. They can't afford to keep up with that. So that's a stupid decision on your own. As far as you flaunting money, people already know that you are a professional athlete. Who are you flaunting for? Why are you buying a bunch of cars? Why are you buying multiple mansions? Like, what do you need all that for? Your contracts are already publicly stated. Everybody and their mama knows what $100 million contract or who's getting the $100 million contracts.
It's actually public information now.
You don't have to flaunt that money. Like, people already know who you are. You're already a famous athlete. You flaunting stuff is you just trying to keep up with the Joneses and keep up appearances. And at the end of the day, again, that's on you, and you need to take some accountability. Most people in their lifetime will never see more than $4 million. To try to get the average person to feel sorry for you or whatever because you were like stupid with your finances.
Give me a break.
You start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime. Yeah, this job that I sacrificed my whole life for, they are giving me that. I didn't ask for the certain dollar amount or whatever, but we weren't taught about no financial literacy and all the way. We weren't
talk about it all the time.
We weren't taught this skill, and it's kind of like,
what point are you making? Like, the job that you sacrificed yourself your entire life to get to, you're not the one asking them for the specific dollar amount. The point of you trying to become a professional athlete at the end of the day was so that you could lift your family out of poverty, because most of you guys come from humble beginnings. Most people in the world come from humble beginnings. That's the whole point of chasing a dream like becoming an athlete. So yes, you actually are asking for that dollar amount. That's number one. Number two, to try to make it seem like it's other people's responsibility to educate you on financial literacy instead of yourself. If your circumstances that you grew up in, again, most people come from humble beginnings. If your humble beginnings didn't teach you that you shouldn't be wasting money, I don't know what to tell you. You know that you grew up poor, and you should have the fear of going back to that poverty, and that should be the driver in allowing you to save your money and making better decisions financially. You don't have any excuses here, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
I'll keep this one under wraps, but I got some things in the work that, like, I'm gonna be able to, the generations that are coming up behind us, when you talk about the storm that me and like moms went through, like, I'll be able to be that for somebody else, and to be able to help their family on how things are gonna go and yada, yada, yada. And like, if I didn't make, I'll take $1. But if I didn't make $1 from any of these kids, but I could give them the knowledge and the wisdom that I didn't know, I'm doing my part. Like when I lay in that kerosene, like I know like I did my role. I know I did the things that I needed to do and provided for the generations coming behind us. So then that way they had a foundation. Now they can lay it for the ones that's coming, after them.
See, I'm gonna end this video here. The drivel that's coming out of his mouth is pissing me off, and I don't want to make this video too long. And this is the entire podcast or whatever. But you just articulated yourself that you and your mom went through a storm. I'm assuming before you made it to the NFL, your mom was probably a single mom. You haven't mentioned a father or whatever, and that's sad that most guys are growing up in one-parent households, and most people are growing up in one-parent households. But you guys probably had a hard time when you were growing up. All the more reason why you should understand from a financial perspective why you should be smart with your money. You're literally proving my point. Now, if you were one of those people who you devoted your life to a specific skill and then you never made it to the highest level, like a professional athlete or whatever, I think people should feel sympathy for those people. And even not so much today, even because of some of the NIL deals that some of these guys are signing or whatever, but those people I understand because they also, like if you are a D1 athlete or something, you literally came right to the doorstep of becoming a professional athlete and realizing your dreams, and that opportunity was taken away from you, and after that you had to go figure it out without really having the skills in other areas and domains of life to where you could actually lean back on that. So those people, I get it, feel sad for those people. But if you are a professional athlete and you made 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 million, bro, if you don't get the entire fuck out of here, bro, like I'm not trying to hear none of that nonsense about, oh, nobody teaches us financial literacy and you got to get this person a house and you got to get that. Learn how to say no.
Period.
Learn how to say no. There are far too many. You can't save everybody, bro. Like I myself, let's take me as an example, okay? I used to make $15,000 a year, okay? And I was surviving off of $15,000 a year.
It was really tough.
I now make significantly more money than that. Like I'm not even making six figures at the end of the day, right? I didn't then start living a life to where like my lifestyle started going up to the amount of money that I was making. I still live my life like I was making $15,000 a year. I still ride my bike everywhere. I still buy the exact same things that I used to buy. I don't spend money when I don't need to spend money. A lot of y'all need to take some goddamn responsibility for your lives, yo. You are not being forced to raise your lifestyle to try to keep up with the Joneses. These are decisions that you yourself are making it, and at the end of the day, you're the person who's going to have to suffer those consequences. Stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you because you're making stupid decisions. That's on you. Take some goddamn responsibility for yourself, bro. I'm going to leave it there, though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this. Like, what do you think about athletes who are going broke and people in general who are on the internet complaining about not making enough money, even though they make technically enough money to be able to survive off? As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate you. If you liked what you heard today, do me a solid and like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really do help out the channel a lot, guys. And if you didn't like what you heard, thanks for allowing me to occupy your time. Consider leaving a comment in the comments down below letting me know exactly what it was that you disagreed with, and maybe we could talk about it. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pressing play on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.